I'm live right now. All right. Well, that's my thinking. What are we going to talk about today? Some people probably have some some questions. So, if they have questions, I hope I have answers. All right. So, anyway, I just put this on my screen. This is the logo for it today. And all you have to do is put your, let me see. I think this needs to go over a little bit. How about that? Does that look good? Anyway, I try. I don't have my hat. There's the hat. If you want to go to holyroller.com and get that. And then this. This is Horn High Yo. All right. And so, of course, there's many different designs at holyroller.com. And we're going to be talking about something because people have a lot of questions about this. Are you ready? It's right here. Boom. The dice tracker. People have a lot of questions about this. So let's talk about it. If you have questions, then put them in the comments here. And I do have some questions. Or put them in the chat, I should say. And there we go. Let me see if I have the chat up and going. And let's see, live chat. There we go. We got the chat. Can you hear me? I don't know. Let me see if the mic's working. Yeah, the mic's working. All right. Here we go. This is what we're going to be talking about a little bit because people have questions. But we're also going to talk about some other questions because somebody said, hey, Brian, are you going to DiceCon? Yes, I'm going to DiceCon. And you might say, well, that's in a couple weeks. So when do you plan on leaving? I'm leaving tomorrow, but not for DiceCon. I got a cruise. I got a cruise that I'm going to be on. Hey, what's up, Aaron? I heard about your, I saw in the Facebook group. So Holy Roller Cruising Club, right? Holy Roller Cruising Club. You can, post pictures and stories and ask questions and all that. We have an awesome community of people, turning up to be almost 500 people over there in that Holy Roller Cruising Club. Free to join. And Aaron shared, I think it was Aaron that shared, like you just got on a free cruise or you just got a free cruise, something like that. Brian, are you cruising next week? We're going to be crapping on the Allure. I'm not on the Allure, but I am cruising, Cody. So awesome on the Allure. I really like the Allure. The funny thing is, I think I've been on the Allure more than any other ship. I don't know why. Hey, what's up, Andrew? Andrew, come on, man. We live so close. We should get together. Not to go to the casino up here in Denver. What is it? The what's that Hawk one? Black Hawk. We don't need to go there because, man, I've been there and it's. I'd rather be cruising than going to a casino. That's all I'm saying. But we should get together because we're just a drive. We're not too far away. So anyway, what's this? Dice Queen Amber. And is there a thing? Okay, so sorry. Is there a thing as dice tracker, or is it all about the technique of throwing the dice? Okay, so is there such a thing as dice tracker? We'll talk about that. Yeah, Black Hawk. Okay, here's a question. Does the Allure of the Seas have hot bets? Oh, man. The Allure of the Seas. I don't think they have hot bets. Nope. I'm remembering right now. If you go to my channel, you could go to my playlist of casino tours, and I give a tour of the casino, and you can see whether it has hot bets or not. I did a Wonder of the Seas tour, and they didn't have hot bets, but I've heard that they have hot bets now on the Wonder. But on the Allure, I don't think they have hot bets. I do not think they have hot bets. Okay, let's talk about, let's see, did Royal honor your free cruise on Icon? Any updates? Well, Monkey Love Travel, let me tell you, No, they didn't. I have a video coming out about that. So the video's coming out. I recorded the video today. I haven't even done anything with it. I need to, cancel it. But so I'm going on a cruise right now, and then I'll need to pay the taxes and port fees for the cruise that I'll be winning while I'm on a cruise. And then I'm gonna just transfer the money that I paid for the icon over to the one that I'm gonna earn while I'm on the cruise this next week. So anyway, that's a bummer. It's a bummer. And yeah, the video's coming out. You'll hear all about it. And let's see. The no hopping bets on the Allure. Yeah, because I love me some hopping bets, and most people say hopping bets are sucker bets, but when you play a system that's a hybrid system and a system that you use winnings, like imagine betting on every number, which sometimes I do. I know it's like an iron cross and a don't, so I have the 7. I literally have every number. And so whatever number rolls, I'm going to get paid something, right? And so sometimes instead of getting like the 5, like I'll do like the field, I'll do a 6 and 8, and I'd love to just hop the 5 for 10, because they'll pay if you hop the 5 for 10 and a 5 hits, it pays 75. So I mean, $65 profit maybe, something like that. And $10 for 65 is great. But then if you have like a high 6 and 8, and you have, it's kind of like the quarter pounder with ease. I don't know if you ever heard that one, but that's kind of like why I like hopping. The funny thing is, of course, horn bets and hopping bets are the same. Like a horn bet is a hopping bet just on the horn numbers. So, but hopping all the numbers, like the 4 easy, 4 hard, all of that. But anyway, I like to do that. So let's see what else do we have here. Liberty had hopping bets. I like Liberty. I just did a video about the Freedom class, and it's the Freedom, the Independence, and the Liberty. I like the Liberty the best. And it's not just because of the tidal wave, but when you watch my video, if you see my video about the Freedom class, you'll think it's about the tidal wave, but I just like the Liberty. It's a little bit bigger too. A lot of people don't realize that. So just tiny bit. Yeah, I feel bad about that icon. Amber's pushing in the table chairs. That's why the camera's shaking. It's not me. It's Amber. I'm blaming her. Somebody called you. What they call they called you the awesome Dice Queen Amber.
Oh, man, you guys are the best.
Is it raining?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. All right, let's see. I'll check it out. When will be the first time ever playing Craps Light in the Darkness level. Will be playing at the 140 level. Free cruise coming. Yes, I like the 140 level. In fact, the 140 level came out of the public Facebook group, the Holy Roller Cruising Club on Facebook. Manuel over there said, hey, I tried it at the 140 and just fully hedged the point, and it was awesome. And I'm like, oh, okay, so I rolled it out. It's called Light in the Darkness Fully Hedged. So if you see the fully hedged version, that's the 140. I think it says fully hedged at 140. Good afternoon. I'm gonna try to be a half hour, and I'm 8 minutes in. I'm maybe 10. No, it's 5 minutes in. Maybe I started early. I don't know. Okay. Your mom went to the store. Your dad's.
To the store to grab some stuff for dinner.
Yeah. And this is my grandson. I'm doing a live.
A live video.
I'm doing a live video.
Okay, guys?
I'm saying hi to the people and answering questions.
You wanna say hi?
Oh,
You can go
okay. Let me do, let's see. I think, let's see. Gary, what's up?
Can we go give this to your brother?
Gary has this, right?
That's your
the dice tracker. So I'm not sure about that question when it talks about dice tracker, dice influence, dice control. But this is to track what's happening. It's a notebook, and so we'll talk a little bit about this in a second. So let's see. How many slices do you eat at Sorrento's over 7 days? Cody, how dare you? How dare you? Too many. too many. So I'll go at least once a day. So that's the thing. I will go late at night after a crap session, but once a day. I don't go for lunch or any other time. It's mainly just like right before they close, like close to 3 a.m. It's like between 2 and 3, I'll go. And to be honest, it's 4. It's 4 slices. It's 4 slices of pizza from Sorrento's. And sometimes I don't eat all the crust, okay? Just so you know. So that's how I tell myself that I'm not eating the whole slice. So let's see. How many slices? Oh my gosh. Over 7 days. You could do the math. All right. For Amber, does she have any tips on picking slots to play? We'll be on Voyager. I'm Voyager in 2 weeks. Voyager. Did Voyager have that tiki one? There's this one that's
the tiki one's there. It's awesome.
Yeah, I think that was on Independence actually, or Freedom. But Amber, this question's for you. Any tips on slots? Any tips on slots? She doesn't want to be on the camera, or do you? Oh yeah, she's sporting our new shirt from the Colorado. Oh, you can't even see it. You're short.
I am short.
Oh my, no.
I'm not that short.
I
don't really have any tips, so I probably really didn't need to be on camera. But I can't think of any. I like to walk around and see. I do look. Sometimes the slot machines say we'll pay out at a certain point, like when it gets to $500, it'll pay out. I look for those. If it's close to like the max where it's going to pay out, I might play that. I like sounds crazy enough. There's this one, it's called Hot 7, I think it is. But you're basically playing a slot machine, but if you get the bonus, you get to roll dice.
Yeah, it's called Hot Roll.
Hot Roll, yeah. Oh, so fun.
The bonus is rolling dice on a screen.
And you can go for a long time rolling dice.
Until you 7 out.
Yeah, or you can push the button too, until you 7 out. And that one's super duper fun. So I like that one.
That one
too.
they're on the Anthem of the Sea. So this is the crazy thing. They have a bunch of those right next to the craps table on the Anthem.
Yeah.
And when you're on the Anthem and you're at the craps table, all of the wall next to the craps table has these things. But they go all the time, and it's like 7 out. Don't roll a 7, and you're like at the craps table, the real craps table. Oh my gosh,
it's crazy.
It's the worst.
That one's a really fun one too, though. I like it. But no, I don't have a strategy. A slot machine will pay when it's going to pay. I just find ones that I enjoy.
So what you do is you do have where you hit it. What do you give it? 5 spins?
Oh yeah, if it doesn't start paying me, even if it's like pennies and like, our grandsons are here. It's the best thing ever. Even if they don't start paying, you want to say hi? Welcome to a 4-year-old boy. That's all we've raised. We have 5 boys. So, anyways, what was I saying? Oh, if it doesn't start paying out within 3 to 5 spins, then I just go to another machine or I change denominations. That's the thing I like to do is I like to find ones that have different denominations that I can change.
So you'll bet $1, but then you'll change the denomination and still bet $1, and then change the denomination and still bet $1.
Yeah.
So the first thing you do is you look at what is the highest denomination.
And I like to try ones I've never played before just to see if they're any fun.
So highest denomination with the lowest bet. So you'll go to like the highest denomination and see what the minimum is on that. And then you go to the lowest denomination and try to bet that.
Yeah, or I'll find the max. So yeah.
But for me, if I played slots, I would play.
You don't play though.
This is what I would do though. I mean seriously, and I've done it. I would play where I would pick whatever bet I'm gonna do. Like what we just talked about, figure out what the minimum bet on the highest denomination is. And I would say, can I play 100 spins? If I can't play or don't want to play 100 spins of it, I don't even play that slot machine. Maybe that's why I don't play slot machines.
I tell you the ones I don't like, the little devil baby game,
Oh, Devil Baby. What's that called? Hot Stuff. Hot Stuff. It's yeah, that one. That one's a.
It's never been good to me.
It's been good to me. It's been good to me. All right. Monkey's like, okay, that's enough talking. Thank you for answering my question. I mean, you're going on and on. All right, let's see.
Hey, leave Pops alone while he's doing the same.
All right, let's see. Again, I have to scroll back and find these questions. Let me see. This is like the most boring part of the show for everybody watching. Okay.
And all of us.
Vision of the Sea, not Voyager of the Sea, so it's Vision of the Sea. I haven't been on Vision. I need to get on Vision because I have Vision. I have a vision of me on Vision because I'm trying to get on all the ships and I haven't been on Vision. I've been on Grandeur and I was like, whoa, this is part of the Vision class. These ships are old and small, the smallest ships, and they're very old. And it's the Vision, the Grandeur, the Rhapsody, and the Enchantment. Those are those. Those are those. All right. What is the best time to play craps on a cruise? Table empty or full? Peak hour for points to get a free cruise. Okay, this is a good question. Very good question. So this is the thing. Big G. There's a couple different things. If you're by yourself or there's very few people at the craps table, the table will move faster because they don't have to pay people out. The faster they move, right? The faster the rolls go, the more points you'll get per hour. Okay. However, here's the kicker here. When the table's not full, you'll rarely have a pit boss there. And sometimes there's only 2 people and half the table's full, like 2 dealers and half the table's full. And so you don't know if your bets are being tracked properly. And so that's why I like this, because I know what my average bet is. I track what my average bet is per shooter per hour. And that way I should know how many points I should have. Because if you do an average bet of $100 for 1 hour, you should have at least 100 points. If it goes faster, you'll have more than 100 points. If it goes slower, it's a little bit less, but maybe 90 or 80, but not like crazy, not like half the amount or something. If it's half as slow is what I'm trying to say. So hopefully that helps. Does that help, Big G? So yeah, it's a catch, like it could go either way. So I play craps when it opens, and the funny thing is, if I'm the only one there, I go really slow. Like I could go really fast, but I just go really slow until more people come. And a lot of times when I'm there by myself, because I am concentrated and focused and I go slow, I'm usually making money when I'm there by myself. So that's what's really cool. But it's not fun to crap with yourself. Wait, I crap alone all the time. Ha! Boom! Bam! That was a bathroom joke, Amber.
Yeah, I got it.
I saw it on the porta potty. I was at a porta potty. But yeah, but the porta potty, it said, you know how you lock it? Somebody wrote with a Sharpie. They said poop alone, and it was locked, and it said poop with friends, and it was unlocked. So you like poop alone. And okay. Anyway, what kind of channel is this? Amber said it's a channel about craps, all kinds of craps. Hey, what do you want to say this time? Anything? Okay. Okay. That's the last time, Amber.
What?
I think they want to play outside. It's in the rain, playing in the rain. Go sing. All right. All right. Okay. So any info on or for Symphony, I'm going on it with my free cruise I won on the Liberty. Thanks, Brian. Okay, Tim, I haven't been on the Symphony. I have the Symphony, scheduled. But from what I've heard in the Facebook Holy Roller Cruising Club on Facebook, it's a public group on Facebook called Holy Roller Cruising Club. The people said the symphony was really good to them when it comes to points and all that kind of stuff. So that's something to think about. All right, let's see if we have anything else. I prefer dice with friends and toilet alone when it comes to craps. That was scary. Okay, so here we go with the dice tracker. Some people wanted to know what's in it. What is in it? Now, my members have known about this for a while because they get early videos, they get secret videos, they get early access to things, and so some of them already have it in hand, so they know what it's like. But it is pretty much the 2 papers. It's 2 pages. This would be a session, and there is enough for 36 sessions. So I tried to think about how many sessions would people play on a cruise if they, if they went on 7-day cruises, and so I tried to figure it's probably about 5 cruises. Most people, this is what Amber said, and this is what we hear a lot. Most people go on cruises maybe once or twice a year. But what we're hearing is now they go more since they heard about our channel and being able to get free cruises. Now they go cruising more. So I wanted to have at least a half a year or 5 cruises. So there's about 5 cruises. It depends on if you do a 4-night, 3-night, 7-night, but 36 different sessions, okay? 36 different sessions. And so I didn't want to make it too big because I wanted it to fit in the pocket. So it's definitely big enough to write in. Not huge, but let me talk about the tallies, and then if you guys have any questions, then I'll answer it, okay? But these tally boxes, I don't know if that can focus, but it says tally or track whatever you'd like. Rolls, points, numbers, win-losses, come-outs, PSOs, point, rolls, etc. So some people like to write down whatever the roll is. Like if it's a 3, no, not right now. If it's a 3 or a 4 or 5, just write it in, whatever rolls. And so then you would go like first shooter, and then just however many times they roll or whatever. Then you go second shooter and just kind of write out, and then third shooter, you just kind of write out. So however you want to track where the shooter breaks, but then you can know every single, and this is about 130 rolls or something. So sometimes you would be there, if you're going to track rolls, you might be there for more than 130 rolls. If that's the case, there's room in the back that you can actually, there's extra blank pages in the back that you can actually do stuff like that if you wanted to, if it happens to be more. And the other thing is you could do is you could just, once it gets to the end, you could say, okay, that's a session, and then just go on to the next page and have another session. So when I think of a session, I think about the amount of time I check in, then when I check out. That's a session to me. But sometimes you could do like a multiple rounds in a session if you wanted to do. So say if I did an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours, and I did a certain strategy with a certain like in and out with points and all that, I would actually, if I'm going to change my system, or if I'm going to change my average bet, I could do slash and know and record when I switch my average bet, and then I'll know what my average is for the whole session. Or you can actually just turn the page and start a new session, if you wanted to do that. But when it comes to these boxes, one thing that oh man, the dogs, I usually do these later at night, I think. I don't know. But but these boxes, the way I use these boxes is tally. So I would tally, each box would be 5. So I'd put 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the cross this way on the 5. So that's how I would tally. So this could, if you're tallying stuff, like on the side here, I would write what I'm tallying. And so I tally the 0.7 ounce. I tally the come out 7s. and the sevens, 11s come out sevens, 11s, and I tallied the twos and threes because I want to know about on my tallies. Am I really getting like knocked off with the 7 and 11 on the come out or not? You know, so I really keep track of those, and I don't normally like write down actual numbers, and except for like the first session sometimes where I want to just see, okay, tonight. If I think I'm seeing, because there's a lot of confirmation bias when you're playing craps, if I think I'm seeing an 8 over and over and over and over, it's like, wow, I can't believe it. There's so many 8s. I like to go back, and if I see a bunch of 8s that I actually wrote down a bunch of 8s, then I'm like, wait, that is actually happening. There is a bunch of 8s. So I'm gonna make sure to get an 8 or whatever. And I know, you know, it's all random, right? So, you know, but sometimes you get on these streaks where even though like it will randomly even out over time, you know, you'll get. I did a video today and I rolled like a 12 like within a couple rolls of each other, and that's not supposed to happen, right? So and an 8 rolled over and over and over, and I wasn't betting the 8. So those are some things to think about. Let me ask or let me read a couple of these comments, and then we'll get back into talking more about this. Okay, so let's see. Have you ever had a box or dealers say anything while you're writing things down? No. The one thing they said, it was a dealer on my right, but a person on my left. This person, there was a player. I pulled out my notebook. I started to write something down, and he goes, "Oh, you're one of them," and I go, "Yep." Like I was kind of focused, so I wasn't really engaged. "Oh, you're one of them." What does it mean, one of them? One of the people that are trying to be responsible and track what they're doing, where they use it as entertainment, but they also know that entertainment has a cost, and so they want to keep track of what they're paying for their entertainment because they don't want to pay. They don't want to pay too much for a cruise. And the person that says, "Oh, you're one of them," they don't know how much they paid for a cruise. They probably didn't even get a free cruise. They're probably just there playing the 3-point Molly with full odds on a cruise, which is probably the worst standard. The standard, you know, they call it the 3-point Molly on Color Up is called the standard. It's the worst standard on a cruise. With full odds and all that, because it does not pay good points for a free cruise. And most people that play pass line with odds or come bets with odds, 3-point Molly, do not win free cruises. And a lot of them come to me and say, "I lost $3,000 and I didn't get a free cruise." I'm like, you should get a dice tracker. Okay, so let's talk more about the dice tracker. Again, you could tally all kinds of stuff because other people like to tally other things. Like I've seen where people will just count, like, so say this is number 1 and or sorry, 2, 3, 4, and they just tally how many 4s, 3s, 5s, 6s, 7s, how many of each number rolled. And so then they can actually see if their graph, you know, and it doesn't do it real time, but you can enter it in and see if it happens, you know, like if you enter in your rolls in some type of tracker. This is like a dice tracker in a way that you are manually tracking it, because you can't have phones at the table where, you could turn and type stuff in. And then I use on my phone, let's see if I have it on my watch, sorry, my watch. Let me see if I can show you. I don't know if I can show you, but there's so many things on it. You know, like if you have an Apple Watch, you could go to this. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll either count rolls or I'll count how many times I got out of a hand. So, or how many hands I got. So, or how many hands I played, you know, like, and so I'll just count, okay, here's another shooter. Okay, here's another shooter. And then I know when I get to 10 shooters, then I make sure to start over, and I evaluate my bankroll and see where it is, and then I go for another 10 shooters. So anyway, that's kind of how I use the watch. But you can definitely have a pin, and I just put this next to my drink, or I'll put it in my pocket. Sometimes I'll have it in my pocket, and and what I do is I'll be keeping track of everything that I want to keep track of, and then I will count once I get to the 10 shooters, or once there's a lull and I know, or I have to use the restroom. That's when I go to the restroom. I write down some stuff. I come back to the table, and sometimes I'm standing back, even though I can stand there and write stuff at the table. Sometimes I just stand back just so I'm not distracted with what's happening at the table. And then when I step back in, I'm ready to play, and I'm starting. So I do miss some rolls, but a lot of times the trick is after a long roll, or after you see somebody. This is what I do. Most of the time people are going to color up during, after a long roll or after some terrible happenings. And what happens is you'll see people like color. You'll have like 3 people color, or somebody with a lot of money will color. And I'm like, okay, I have time. I'm not going to sit here and watch them color up. I'm going to go use the restroom and then come back. And so that's what I do. I go use the restroom. By the time I come back, they're like, okay, thanks, have a good night. And they throw in their little tips. And by the time I'm back, and I do wash my hands, okay? So it's at least over 20 seconds, right? 20 seconds. But yeah, I usually don't miss a lot, because I know exactly with the flow of the game when people are coloring up or people are buying in. And sometimes that happens at the same time, where people are coloring up and people are buying in on the same side. And I'm like, okay, I'll be right back. And then I come back. The other time that I'll leave the table is if there's a rude person playing, and they're rude to the dealers or the players. If they're just rude, like, I don't want to play with them. Like, even if they're making money. Like, there was this one guy one time, he was so rude. And I was standing there, and it was just him and me at the table. But I decided not to play with him. And I knew he wasn't going to be there long, because his wife was with him. And he said, hey, let's just do this for a couple minutes. I know we only got 10 minutes, but let's do this. And then he was just really rude and stuff. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to bet. And so I didn't bet. And he 7'd out. And then they say, okay, you're up next. I'm like, no, I didn't bet. Go ahead, pass it. And he goes, no, you could shoot. And I go, okay. So I just put something on the don't pass to shoot. And then he's like, what the? And I was like, yeah, you want to bet? And then he left. But so if people are rude to the players or to the dealers, I don't bet on them. So sometimes if there's a lot of people at the table and it comes to a certain person, and I feel like they're either rude. Okay, so here's the things. I know you guys didn't even ask this question, right? But if they're rude, or if they're rude to the players or the dealers, or if they are just have no clue what they're doing, some people would say, "Oh, a new person? Oh my gosh, that's going to be a monster roll if it's a girl, and if it's a guy, it's going to be a 0.7 out." But if they don't know what they're doing in such a way that, like, it's too much for them to roll and do their bets, I'm like, I'm using the restroom. I'll be back after this. And I come back, and most of the time, let's say 8 times out of 10, let's say 7 times out of 10, okay? Just so we can use the word 7, because that's what happened. They're like, whoa, you left at a good time. And then I'm back in it, So anyway, that's kind of like how I would do that. All right, let's talk more. Do you guys have any questions about this? Because I know there's other parts of it. It's not just the tracker. Okay, rude or intoxicated. Yeah, with alcohol. Yeah, that's for sure. All right, so the cruise, the date, the time in, time out. I want to know how long I played. The starting bankroll, overall starting bankroll. Like this would be the first night, and then the starting session bankroll. So this is something very interesting that a lot of people like. So I always say, if a cruise costs $2,000, don't bring more than $2,000. If it is $2,000 and it's a 5-night cruise, then you can divide the 2,000 by 5, right? And have 400 per night. And then you'll know that, okay, my starting session bankroll is 400, but I'm only going to buy in with 200 right now. So I have a place where you can mark your buy-ins, like if you buy in multiple times. And then I have the average bet per shooter. I like to try to keep my average bet per shooter the same for each session. And so then that's why I know I'm not like I'll go up, meaning when I press and stuff, and that's just extra, but I make sure that I'm at a base level where I don't go below a certain average bet. And the other thing about average bet is making sure that the pit boss puts it in. And sometimes if the pit boss puts in my average bet, and I say, hey, what do you have me at? And they say what it is, then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna at least try to stay there. But if I go higher, I'm gonna tell them, hey, I went higher, I need you to bump my bet up. I rarely do tell them that I went lower. I always tell them when I go higher, you know? So anyway, let's see. Having a goal for how much money you want to make, and then having a stop loss or a walk away. So if you have 400 for the session and you don't want to use more than 200 because you want to take 200 into the next night, and then you can have 600. So the idea is you can either stop loss at 200 and then have 600 for the next night, or you can win 200 so you have 600 for the next night. Now sometimes what people do is sometimes people will do, what do you call it? They will do where they take, so say they have 400 a night, right? And they win 500, like a total of 500. So they're up 100. So then their second night, they take their 400 plus the 500 from the night before, and they'll have 900 for that night. What I would do is if I had 400 and I walked away with 400 after the first night and it was 5 nights, I would take and add $100 to each night. Like that's how I would split whatever I walk away with for the first night into the second night. And you might say, well, don't you want to make money? Don't you want to win money and walk away with money? The last night is when a lot of times the last night has been really good, and I think it's because I play more aggressive on the last night because I do want to walk away with money. And usually on the last night I have a bunch of free play, that because when you earn points during the cruise, you get free play before you leave the cruise. It's $5 for every 250 points. So for 4,000 points, you get like 60 bucks. I'll use 60 bucks to hedge my bets, and I'll bet really big. And then I usually will make some good money on the last night. And so that's why I kind of compound all the nights into the last night. But I also want to increase. If I'm up, say if I lost everything, I know I at least have the 400 each night. But if I'm up, then I split it so that I know, say I made 400, then I'm like, I have 500 each night. Well, if that compounds into the last night and I have my original bankroll plus some, sometimes I will pull my original bankroll aside and won't even play with that because I'll start that on my next cruise and then I'll just play with my bankroll. But then other times, I know, like I would say probably 7 times out of 10, no, I would say probably 50% of the time, I actually compound all of my winnings and the bankroll I started with into the last night, and then I just try to get my money back. But that's when you're really playing for free play on the next cruise, because a lot of cruises I'll start with like 700 or 1,000, 750 or $1,000 worth of free play to start, and that's a great way to start your cruise, is with $1,000 worth of free play. Okay, let me see if there was any chats, and we're going to be done in just a second. Good evening, all. Will you have any to sell at DiceCon? No, I won't. This comes from Amazon, straight from Amazon. So if you go to holyroller.com, you'll be able to see and click. It'll take you over to Amazon, and they'll get it to you really quick. So I know Gary had got it, and it was, I mean, just really quick. I mean, it came really quick. So mine came really quick too. So Brian Ader. What can you receive over and above a cruise as far as a freebie? Bottle of wine, yes. Spa voucher, yes. Dinners at specialty restaurants, yes. There's so there's I have a whole thing about this with my members on my member channel. Jim the Professor in the house. Um, think what do you say there? Really helps with the ratings. Yeah, if you tip, it really helps with the ratings. I have a video coming out on next Wednesday about tipping and how to tip the dealers. And that video, I'm really excited about it because I haven't really talked much about it, but I show people how to tip and and tipping and toking. I don't talk about toking, but well, I should have. But after I did the video, I'm like, man, I didn't even mention tokes because tokes are tokens. It's actually called toke the dealers instead of tip the dealers. But I think everybody would understand if you said tip that what we're talking about. So, but thank you so much for the super chat. That is so awesome. Jim the Professor, I'm going to see you at DiceCon in a couple days here. I'm actually going on a cruise, and then from the cruise, I'm going to DiceCon. So I'm driving from Colorado to the cruise port, and then I'm driving to Vegas. Whoa, a lot of driving. So yeah, that's going to be crazy. Yeah, 2 or 3 days got it from Amazon. That's awesome. That's great. And so, again, Big G, there's a certain amount of points that you get that if you have over 5,000 points, you can use that free play. Instead of getting it in free play chips, you could just put it towards your room, your bill at your room. And so, 5,000 points, was that $75? So it's not a lot, but it would pay for a dining. But the casino host is who you want to talk to. And like I said, I have detailed ways to do that for my members on my member channel, so I won't go into it here. Okay, so I'm going on the Oasis this Sunday. I think I remember you saying that you were on the Oasis. Yes, I was recently. Not rating, no. So I was rated properly, Ryan, but they had told me at the end that that there's this email that came out, and they're not sure that it will be rated anymore, and they just wanted to let me know. And I said, it doesn't make sense. I don't think it's going to stick. And I've said that from the beginning, that I don't think it was going to stick, and I don't think it has stuck because it hasn't even been a month. Like this week would be a month, and people are cruising all over and still getting full ratings. So will it be like that on the Oasis? Just like I was rated properly on the Oasis. So I don't know. I think it was just like a email that went out, and then they probably got a lot of backlash, and then they said, okay, let's take it easy on this ContraBet thing. And it was mainly for roulette players. It wasn't really for craps players. So that's why they were telling me. They were like, I don't know if it's going to affect the craps players, but the roulette players is definitely going to affect them. And then when I was there at the end, the very last, like 10 o'clock on the last night, they said, yeah, that's a ContraBet. We'd have to bet that down. And I said, you're going to bet that down to minimum bet? And they go, no, that's what the thing is. We're kind of talking through it right now. And I'm like, okay, great. So that's kind of that. So a few bucks for the craps table fund. Gary, you haven't forgot. That is awesome. $10 from Gary, member of the channel here. And we are trying to raise the money for a full-size craps table. I did get some lighting. I got the microphone, and I'm getting, I think the next thing I'm gonna probably get is a felt even before I get the craps table. But I'm kind of buying a little bit by little bit to where when the time comes for the actual craps table, we're trying to raise like $3,000 for it. And because I want to get an actual casino size real craps table. And that way I could practice my tosses. Whenever I do my rolls, it's all random, and I just shake them and roll them, shake them and roll them. And I know it doesn't matter. Some people are like, it doesn't matter. It is all random. What are you talking about, Brian? But what I'm saying is, when I'm on the cruise on a full-size table or playing in Vegas or wherever, I set my dice, and I'm controlled in how I toss. Doesn't mean I can control the dice. I'm just more, I want to be consistent with how I throw. And there's nothing consistent in what the shake 'em and bake 'em. You know what I mean? Shake 'em and bake 'em. I guess there is consistency in that too. Sorry, I don't want to be controversial here, but consistency in the randomness. But I have found that I could roll a little bit longer when I set them to a certain thing. But I would like to practice more on my table, and so I want to make my table to be full size, just like on a ship. So even though I go the first night on a ship and I'll go to the casino and I'll practice roll. The reason why I practice roll when the casino is closed on a ship, which you can do, I bring dice and I practice roll on the ship. The thing is, I have to make sure that I bring real dice or real casino size dice, not like Amazon dice. So I have some that I bought. They're not cheap, but I bought the real size and everything of the dice. Not, like I said, not the China Amazon stuff or whatever. But if I can practice that at the cruise, and you know what? Funny thing is, I saw when the casino was open on the Oasis, or maybe it was it was the Oasis. The casino was open. And somebody had dice and was practice throwing, and the dealers are all around, walking around, and they didn't say anything to them. And I'm like, I've never done that. I mean, I waited when you guys were closed, and I've only been told once that I can't record. And I'm like, I record all the time. And then they left, and then I started recording again. But they're like, no, you can't record in the casino. I'm like, I know the rules. But anyway, I do know the rules. The rules are you can't record people in the casino. So anyway, that's why. But they just say, don't record in the casino. So I want to get where I can start recording, but I have a feeling I'm going to have to do like camera in the glasses or something like that, or put my phone in a pocket and just go like this the whole time. Hey, what's up? What's happening? Oh yeah, we're talking about this. So we're trying to raise money for a craps table. Thank you, Gary, for that. Okay, the last things that I would talk about is it actually has the starting points. Obviously you get on a cruise, you start with 0 points. How much did you make during that session? You have your point goal, and I always recommend to have a point goal before you go. To know what cruise are you going for, and so I have a video about that where you can see the cruise offers before you go on your next cruise, so that you can you can pick the cruise. You can see, I want to pick this one if I win, and I know that that's 3,000 points, so my goal is 3,000 points, and so you put your goal right in here of how many points you want for this event or this cruise, and then you can keep track where you're like 1,000 of 3,000. 1,500 of 3,000. So you can keep track of where you're going and how you're going to get there. Oh, we do got some Canadian money coming in. Big money. Something for the craps table. Thank you so much. Merv, again, thank you so much. And Merv is a channel member as well. Let's give that a like as well. And with Gary with the craps table fund, give that a like as well. And then Jim the Professor. Yes, tipping or toking the dealers. Toking the dealers. All right. So is this going to be everything I talk about? Probably not. I am putting it out there. Just like I talk about my merch, I don't have my hat. There's the hat, and go to holyroller.com. And it's Holy Roller without the ER. It's just Holy Roller. It doesn't have the brackets, of course, but holyroller.com. And it's right here. holyroller.com. Go to holyroller.com, and this will support the channel. And remember, proceeds of the merch, all go towards the craps table as well. But there is nothing more sweeter than you guys giving, and you ladies giving towards the craps table fund. Here's Ryan as well, giving towards the craps table fund. This is amazing. Some people said, hey, Brian, when you get the craps table fund, or when you get the craps table, you should invite us all out to come to your house and play on the craps table. I'm like, I've never done that before. I know other people have done that, but I am working on an event that is not a cruise, that we can bring people together and it's not DiceCon and it's not competing with DiceCon. Like I would always make sure to check dates of everybody that's doing stuff, and then I would try to have my date out first. And whoever gets their date out first within the craps community, they should have that date, and you shouldn't overlap other people's dates, you know, because that's just kind of like not a community kind of thing to do. You know what I'm saying? So instead of everybody being torn, am I going to go here? Am I going to go there? I will make sure to try to have and be the first one to choose a date, and hopefully people will be respectful enough to not have the same their event on my event, you know, or whatever. Okay, so there's my little rant. But anyway, get this today. I have a video coming out. It's hilarious. I had fun with it, but I did talk about this in a video as well. But I wanted to do a live just to answer any questions that people had. Oh, thanks, Murph, for ordering the book. Let me know how long it takes to get to Canada, eh? All right, let me know. All right, so, and I didn't mean that rudely. I thought that was funny. But anyway, sometimes I get people take me the wrong way, and I'm like, how dare you take me the wrong way? I'm offended that you're offended. So anyway, that's the dice tracker. I said I was going to go, man, see, I always go too long. I always go way too long. You know what I'm saying? See, I'm losing my voice. But when it comes to going along, like, you know, rolling, people don't mind. People don't mind if I just keep rolling and rolling and rolling. But sometimes you have to end the video. And I think now would be a good time to end it. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here. And remember, as I always say, I hope to see you cruising and rolling on a craps table soon. See ya.